What if a boy who could build entire machines inside his mind, without ever touching a single tool, grew up to invent the very power that lights up homes all around the world today? A long time ago, in a small village in Europe, a boy was born into a family that loved ideas. His father was a priest who valued careful thinking, and his mother, even though she never had the chance to go to school herself, loved to invent little tools to make housework easier. The boy grew up watching her build things with her own hands, and it planted a seed of wonder inside him that never went away. This boy had an unusual gift. He could picture whole machines inside his head, spinning and working perfectly, long before he ever touched a single tool or drew a single sketch. He would close his eyes, build an entire invention in his imagination, test it, find its problems, and fix them, all without anyone else ever seeing a thing. He grew up loving numbers and machines more than almost anything else. He studied engineering at school, and he was so quick with math that he could solve enormous problems in his head, faster than his teachers could even write them on the chalkboard. He also loved languages, and by the time he was a young man, he could speak several of them fluently. When he became a young man, he sailed across the ocean to a brand new country, hoping for a fresh start. He arrived with only a few coins in his pocket, a book of poems, and a letter of introduction to a famous inventor. That inventor gave him a job fixing machines in his workshop. The young man worked long, hard hours, and came up with clever ways to make the machines run far better than before. But when it came time to be paid fairly for his hard work, he was turned away empty-handed. Instead of giving up, he decided to build his own small workshop and follow his own ideas instead. He believed there was a much better way to send electricity into homes and cities, a way that could travel far greater distances without losing its power along the way. Almost nobody believed him at first. Other powerful businessmen were already making money a different way, and they did not want anything to change. But one businessman listened closely, and believed in his idea. Together, they built enormous machines beside a giant, roaring waterfall, using the young inventor's design to turn the waterfall's power into electricity that could travel for miles and miles. When they finally flipped the switch, an entire city lit up all at once, glowing with light that had traveled all the way from the falls. Many people said his kind of electricity was too dangerous to ever trust in a home. So, to prove them wrong, he once let bolts of electricity crackle straight through his own body on a stage in front of a crowd, holding a glowing lamp safely in his hand the entire time. Slowly, the whole world began to trust his invention. Today, it is still the very same kind of electricity that powers nearly every home on Earth. He did not stop there. He built glowing tubes of light, experimented with invisible rays that could see through solid objects, and even built a tiny boat that moved by itself, steered from far away, decades before almost anyone else imagined such a thing was possible. Filled with even bigger dreams, he tried to build a giant tower that could send electricity and messages all around the entire world, without using a single wire. He poured his heart, and every last coin he had, into that giant project. But the money ran out long before the tower was ever finished, and it was eventually taken apart, piece by piece. In his later years, he lived quietly in a small hotel room, with far less money than he once had. But he never once stopped dreaming up new ideas, filling notebook after notebook with inventions the world had not caught up to yet. He spent many gentle afternoons in the park, caring for the birds, finding quiet comfort in their simple company. One winter, in that very same small hotel room, he peacefully passed away, alone, but never truly forgotten. This boy, who once built entire machines only inside his own imagination, grew up to become Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors the world has ever known. He was honored with the Edison Medal for changing the way the whole world uses electricity, and decades later, scientists even named a unit of measurement, the Tesla, after him. He was doubted, copied, and left with very little in his final years. But without him, the lights in your own home might not even turn on today. So the next time you flip on a light switch, remember Nikola Tesla, and remember that one bold idea, believed in strongly enough, can light up the whole world. For more such interesting videos, please like, share, and subscribe to Zen Magma Wisdom Nest YouTube channel.